So underneath the video that I did in the last day or so with the title Order Out of Chaos, Your Thoughts, Wisdom of Creation, well, on YouTube he's called, well, a variation on the theme, but I'm sure it is still Wisdom of Creation. But it's worth considering how the concept of double jeopardy was essentially abolished with the Stephen Lawrence case, and how the refusal to take cash in certain places and in certain circumstances during and post-COVID has essentially ended the concept of legal tender. National borders essentially don't exist anymore. The awake amongst us can see where it is all heading, and I replied, the destruction of any national identity, sense of belonging to one's nation, the family, because that's absolutely under attack massively, etc., etc. Huxley covered it, as did Orwell and others. Yeah, C.S. Lewis, various others I've said in the past, So I come across this, and the wording's interesting because, so Team GB athletes will wear the traditional Union Jack on their kit at this summer's Olympics, despite the row over the redesigned flag used on selected merchandise. Following a rebranding exercise last year, Team GB have launched a range of products on their online shop in which the Union Jack has been altered using different shades of red, white and blue, along with a series of patterns. Bath-based agency This Away, who came up with the concept, said they wanted to find a way of refreshing Team GB's colour palette because it was far from unique, prompting a backlash from politicians and the public. Now, wasn't it the English FA had done similar shenanigans with, the England players' tops? Yeah. Anyway, feel free to drop a link in. So, however, Team GB insist the new pink and purple design will not feature on their kit for Paris 2024, which was made 2 years ago and will be launched later this month. A spokesperson told Mail Sport all Team GB athletes will wear the Union Jack as normal in Paris. But that doesn't say that they'll not be wearing it elsewhere, because remember, we're getting a bit of a backlash, we'll backtrack a wee bit and then forward to go, backtrack a wee bit, forward to go, blah, blah, blah. So also today, former British athlete Fatima Whitbread said she was absolutely disgusted by the new merchandise because the Union Jack represents everything that embraces what's good about our country or about countries as years have gone by. And you could play that, and, she makes a lot of sense in what she said. But this is the direction of travel. Now, it's the same thing with immigration. And by the way, look at Australia, yeah? Synonymous up till the last few years of dealing with uncontrolled immigration by turning the boats back. Well, that's now all changing. In fact, I'm sure I linked a couple of vids from Sky News Australia in the last few days, and we're pointing out that something like so far potentially 500,000 migrants had come into the country. And if you look at the main big cities in Australia, they're way beyond what they were designed to be population-wise. So the same thing is happening in Australia now that is happening in America and has been for many years, southern border, etc., etc. And of course, let's not forget what's happening via the dinghy surfers and all the rest of it on the channel. Yeah, it's unbelievable. But and remember, anybody who's wide awake to any of this, you destroy nations from within, destroy any feeling of belonging to one's nation, all the rest of it. That's all to go out the window. And remember, through repetition in what goes for the education system these days, we're all just global citizens. And I've said this before, I've said it a number of times, nobody seems to be taking it on board. At some point, and not that far away, you're going to be told, listen, we're all global citizens. You can't appear to get a job in this local area. But maybe in India, in fact, here's the one way ticket. But what about my family? Look, you can still keep in touch with them. via webcam, but we're all in this together. It is absolutely part of the plan. It's ongoing. We're seeing the destruction of nationhood. Absolutely. In fact, I said as much, but you look at this. So Daily Mail, blah, 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 the URL, and then open web logged in. And they've definitely got me targeted as, well, no matter what he says. All I said was the concept of nationhood is to be abolished. And I would argue the only individuals that are getting to see it is, there won't be. It's AI. So you have to trot off, Scott. You're wasting your time making a comment. Was there anything outrageous in what I said there? The concept of nationhood. Let's just, thanks, Bella. Snoring away in the background. I must be a therapy session just by voice to this wonder of mine, my dog. As I start doing a bit, she just starts snoring away. Anyway, nationhood. The fact or status of being a nation, national identity, or independence. For example, the day in which we celebrate our nationhood as New Zealanders. All that is to be going out the window, and you're seeing it in real time. Anyway, what managed to get through from other people? Top rated. You couldn't call me anything but disenfranchised from the system and services within this country. I'm embarrassed by the politics of my country. Probably the only thing in this country that still makes me feel I am part of a community is sports. Well, that's why they're destroying that as well. It's the one thing that unites us all under one flag, and that's sad in itself to see that. On one side together in support of our athletes, no matter who you are, please do not disenfranchise me from sports by attacking a political message I'm unsure about. By attaching, that's better. That was me. By attaching a political message I'm unsure about. I want to be proud of who I am and where I'm from. But that's to be destroyed. That's part of the plan. That's what's happening in real time. Yeah. The Union flag is already unique and instantly recognizable by any country in the world. Anyone who claims otherwise is just being contrary. Well, there have been other things as well. Would any other country accept a national flag being redesigned by an attention-seeking, playful designer? No, this is not about attention-seeking, playful designers. It's not. Another own goal for Team Woke. You'd have thought they'd have learnt from the disasters in marketing, like the backlash from Budweiser customers when they just couldn't leave it be, and it cost them billions as customers walk away from the brand. Who'd have thought, ? There will be stockpiles of surplus kit left after a tournament that didn't sell when customers decided to reuse their existing garments with a Union Jack on. Now, there are other comments like that, but, many of the corporations and institutions will take a hit with a view on the long term of the goals still being achieved. So this branding company, very interesting. I could look in more into their background, but it's, they'll be, what does that say? Where change makers are made. And look at it. They're literally saying we're brainwashing you. And of course, it's females, because it's divide and conquer, remember? Yeah. Brainwashing the male, the dumb male, so that he, he's still described as he at the moment, is, all his impure and past tense thoughts are washed away and nature takes its course. You could go into more detail. As usual, I could do a better job of this. But given what's just come out in Scotland, yeah. Anyway, as always, I appreciate your thumbs up and shares. And if you like what I do, buy me a beer or two. And I'll speak to you soon.